Raj is a taxi driver in the busy city of Mumbai. He has been driving a taxi for the past 15 years. Every day, his life follows a familiar routine, but each day also brings new stories. Raj lives in a small but cozy house with his wife, Veena, and their 10-year-old son, Arjun. Their house is in a narrow lane, surrounded by other small houses. The sound of honking cars and chatter from the street is always there. But Raj is used to it. Every morning, Raj wakes up at exactly 5 a.m. His alarm clock rings loudly, but sometimes he wakes up even before it goes off. The first thing he does is stretch his arms and yawn. Then, he walks to the small kitchen where Meena is already preparing tea. The smell of ginger and cardamom fills the air. "Good morning," Veena says with a smile. "Good morning," Raj replies as he sits down. The hot tea feels good in his hands. He takes slow sips, enjoying the warmth. Meena then serves him breakfast, 2 soft chapati with potato curry and a small ball of yogurt. Raj eats quietly, thinking about the day ahead. After breakfast, Raj gets ready for work. He washes his face, brushes his teeth, and combs his hair. Then, he puts on his uniform, a clean white shirt and black pants. His taxi company gives him this uniform, and he must keep it neat. Before leaving, Raj checks his taxi, which is parked outside his house. He walks around it, looking at the tires to make sure they are not flat. He opens the hood and checks the engine. Oil and water levels are fine. Then, he looks at the fuel meter. There is enough petrol for the day. Raj keeps his taxi clean because customers like a tidy car. He wipes the seats and the dashboard with a cloth. He also checks the small things, the taxi meter, the mirrors, and the seat belts. Everything must work perfectly. At 6 a.m., Raj starts the engine. The familiar sound of the car makes him feel ready for the day. He drives slowly through the narrow lanes of his neighborhood. The streets are quiet at this time. Only a few people are outside. Some are jogging. Others are opening their shops. As he enters the main road, Raj turns on the radio. The news reporter talks about the weather and traffic. Raj listens carefully because traffic updates help him avoid jams later in the day. The morning air is cool, and the sun is just starting to rise. Raj knows that soon, the roads will be full of cars, buses, and people rushing to work. But for now, the city is peaceful, and he enjoys the quiet drive. Raj is a hardworking taxi driver who spends his days navigating the busy streets of Mumbai. For 15 years, he has driven his yellow and black taxi through crowded roads, always with a smile for his passengers. His life may seem ordinary, but each day brings different people and new experiences into his taxi. Raj lives with his loving family in a modest 2-room house in a lively Mumbai neighborhood. His wife Meena takes care of their home and their bright-eyed son Arjun, who goes to the local school. Their small house sits between other similar homes in a lane so narrow that when two cars meet, one must reverse to let the other pass. Every morning, Raj wakes to familiar sounds: the milkman's bicycle bell, newspaper boys calling out headlines, and the distant hum of the waking city. The day begins when Raj's old alarm clock rings at 5 a.m. with its loud, persistent buzz. Some mornings, his eyes open just minutes before the alarm, as his body has learned the routine well. He stretches his arms above his head and rubs the sleep from his eyes. The floor feels cool under his feet as he walks to the small kitchen where Meena is already boiling water for tea. The kitchen fills with the comforting smell of ginger tea. Meena adds fresh ginger, cardamom, and just the right amount of sugar. Raj sits at their small plastic table, the warm cup between his hands, feeling good after the night's rest. "Did you sleep well?" Meena asks as she moves about the kitchen. Raj nods, taking slow sips of the sweet, spicy tea that helps wake him up properly. Soon, breakfast appears on the table, two freshly made chapatis still warm from the pan, a small ball of aloo sabdi, potato curry, and some creamy yogurt. Sometimes there might be a piece of fruit, a banana or an apple. Raj eats methodically, his mind already thinking about the day ahead. Will there be heavy traffic? Will he meet interesting passengers? He hopes to earn enough today to save for Arjun's school books. After eating, Raj begins his morning routine. He washes his face with cold water at the small sink, the shock helping to fully wake him. He brushes his teeth carefully. A clean smile is important when dealing with passengers. Then he combs his hair neatly to the side. His uniform waits on a hanger, a crisp white shirt and black trousers that Meena washes and irons every evening. Before leaving, Raj checks his taxi parked outside. The old but reliable car has been his workplace for years. He walks around it slowly, kicking the tires gently to check the air pressure. He lifts the hood to check the oil level using the dipstick and adds a little water to the radiator. The fuel gauge shows half a tank, enough to start the day. Inside the taxi, Raj straightens the seat covers and wipes down the dashboard with a damp cloth. He checks that the taxi meter works properly and that the "for hire" light functions. The rear view and side mirrors get adjusted just right. He tests the horn. It gives a loud beep that echoes down the quiet lane. Everything must be perfect because his passengers deserve a safe, comfortable ride. At exactly 6 a.m., Raj turns the key and the taxi's engine rumbles to life. The familiar vibration of the steering wheel feels like an old friend. He drives carefully down the narrow lane, avoiding the sleeping dogs and early walkers. The neighborhood is just waking. Shopkeepers are rolling up their shutters. A baker is unloading fresh bread, and a few people are out for morning walks. As he reaches the main road, Raj turns on the radio. The morning news reports the day's weather, hot and humid as usual, and mentions some traffic jams to avoid later. Raj listens carefully because knowing which roads to avoid can save hours of waiting in traffic. The rising sun paints the sky in shades of orange and pink as the city slowly comes alive around him. The air still carries the coolness of night, but Raj knows this won't last. Soon, the sun will blaze down, the roads will fill with honking vehicles, and the temperature inside the taxi will rise. But for now, in these quiet morning moments, driving through the waking city, Raj feels at peace. He takes a deep breath, adjusts his mirror one more time, and prepares for another day of meeting Mumbai's many stories. As Raj reaches the taxi stand near the railway station at 6:30 a.m., the city is fully awake now. The early morning light shines on the faces of hundreds of people rushing to work. Raj joins the line of yellow and black taxis waiting for customers. His first passenger arrives quickly, a serious-looking man in a crisp suit carrying a leather briefcase. "Churchgate Station, please," the man says as he gets in. Raj notes his polished shoes and expensive watch. Definitely a business executive. "Good morning, sir," Raj greets him cheerfully. Fast route or scenic route today? Fast, please. I have a 7:15 meeting. The man replies, checking his gold wristwatch. Raj turns on the meter which starts at 25 rupees and begins driving through the thickening traffic. He chooses the less crowded back roads, skillfully navigating between buses and motorcycles. The air conditioning hums softly as the businessman makes phone calls in English. At a red light, Raj sees a familiar sight. The old newspaper vendor who's been at this corner for 20 years. They exchange quick nods. The smell of freshly fried samosas from a street cart mixes with exhaust fumes. Here we are, sir, Raj announces as they pull up to the station. The meter shows 180 rupees. The man hands him 200 rupees and says, "Keep the change." Raj smiles gratefully. His first tip of the day. Raj's next customer is a worried-looking young mother carrying a crying child. "Please, my son has high fever. We need to go to JJ hospital quickly," she says urgently. Raj springs into action. He helps buckle the child in the back seat and turns off the air conditioning. "AC isn't good for fever," he explains. Instead, he opens the window slightly to let in fresh air. As they race through traffic, Raj uses all his knowledge of shortcuts. He honks politely but firmly to clear their path. The little boy's whimpers make Raj think of his own son Arjun. At the hospital entrance, Raj refuses to take money. "Take care of your son first," he tells the surprised mother. She thanks him with tears in her eyes before rushing inside. By 1:30 p.m., Raj's stomach growls loudly. He drives to his favorite lunch spot, a small roadside dhaba called Guru Kripa. The owner, Balwant Singh, greets him with a wide smile. "Same usual, Raju?" Balwant asks. "Yes please, uncle. Dal tadka, 2 rotis, and extra onions," Raj replies, washing his hands at the small sink outside. As he waits for his food, Raj chats with other drivers. They share stories about difficult passengers, good tips, and traffic problems. Sunil, a younger driver, complains about a passenger who vomited in his taxi last night. "Use newspaper under the seats next time," advises Raj. "Easy to clean and absorb smells." The others nod, impressed by his wisdom. The hot food arrives on a stainless steel plate. Raj eats quickly but carefully, saving the spicy dal. He drinks 2 glasses of sweet lassi to cool down. The total comes to just 60 rupees, cheap but delicious. Back on the road, Raj gets a call from his taxi company about a pre-booked pickup at a 5-star hotel. The passenger turns out to be a foreign tourist from Germany. "Gateway of India, bit," the man says in a heavy accent. Raj smiles. "Yes sir, very good monument." He drives carefully, pointing out landmarks along the way. The Taj Mahal Hotel, Marine Drive, and the Art Deco buildings. The German takes many photos through the window. At the destination, he struggles with his wallet. Raj helps explain the money. "This is 500 rupees note. This is 100 rupees. The tourist gives him a 100 rupee tip and a big thumbs up. As sunset colors the sky orange, Mumbai's traffic becomes chaotic. Raj gets stuck in a massive jam near Andheri. He turns off the engine to save fuel and opens his window. A street vendor selling coconut water appears. Raj buys one for 30 rupees and drinks the sweet, refreshing water straight from the green coconut. The vendor cracks it open afterwards so Raj can eat the soft white flesh inside. 2 hours later, the traffic finally moves. Raj's back aches from sitting so long. But he has one more passenger, an elderly woman going to visit her daughter. He helps carry her bags and drives extra carefully. At 9:30 p.m., Raj finally parks outside his home. Meena has kept dinner warm, fish curry, rice, and bitter gourd. Arjun shows him his school homework while Raj eats tiredly but happily. After dinner, Raj counts the day's earnings, 2,300 rupees in total. He puts 500 rupees in Arjun's school fund jar, 300 rupees in the household box, and keeps 1,500 rupees for tomorrow's petrol and expenses. As he lies in bed, Raj thinks about all the people he met today. The businessman, the sick child, the foreign tourist. Each ride was a different story. With this thought, he falls asleep, ready to do it all again tomorrow.